It is being live streamed. Awesome. Alright, Philip has joined. Oh, good. Let's see if I can see you here, Philip. We are trying to live stream here. And oh, I gotta turn my volume off because it's okay. So let's see what happened here. Alright. Oh man. Pause this for a second. See what YouTube's doing. Oh, I got 2 people watching it. Alright, well, let's see. Sorry, I'm getting all this tech stuff worked out. Okay. I'm back to recording. Okay. So, let's go over some of these things. You got the PDF, and you can get that out, and I'll share. I'll put it on the screen. So let me share this. 1 moment. And hit the share over here on my iPad. And ooh. Okay, so this is what we're looking at. So we got these patterns here. See if I can. So we got this pattern. Whoa, sorry. So laser pointer. Oh, that doesn't work. All right, I don't want that. Nope. Okay. Take that off. Okay, so we got this first pattern here. Everyone knows about it. It's, by the way, I'm Scott, and we are going over Hammer Ons and pull-offs. So we're working with the Pentatonic Patterns, and so the main pattern is this first one. So it's got the fingering. We're just in A minor pentatonic, starting on the 5th fret. So the red notes, those are your A roots, minor root. And so anyways, we'll go through these 3 patterns. The main pattern, the first one there. So what you want to do to practice these, let's see if I can get my metronome set to a decent. Alright, turn it up, you can hear it. Alright, this is at 100. So, yeah, that should be fine. So I'm just going to have. Alright, so that was going up, doing hammer-ons at 100. That's maybe a little too fast. Let me go down a little bit more. And so, the hammer-ons, and it's good to work with a metronome. I'm at 90, so you may want to start a little slower, 60 or 70. That's fine. And so then with that, so how to do the hammer-ons basically is just, I'm just slamming my finger down on the string next to the fret there. I mean, I could hit back here, but it's better you get, the closer you are to the fret, the better you'll get. And then I got my first finger right next, I just hold that down. So the position of your thumb and the back of the neck is going to make a difference too on reaching that. So I got mine kind of looks like this. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of centered, and so then that way I can kind of hold both my fingers down. And I'm pretty much the same thing when I go to pull off. And so when I do the pull off, I'll talk about that. So the pull off basically just snapping my finger, and it's kind of snapping the string. Snap my finger. Snapping the string like a rubber band is the way I kind of think of it. So you want to be careful that you don't go and not bend it out of tune. You just want to, it's a quick little snap. So what you have to do is you have to practice, and each finger is a little different. Of course the pinky's not as coordinated, so you kind of want to go, you know, you could just practice kind of. Third finger is a bit more coordinated. So, well, let me do that with the metronome. I'll do the pull-offs going back. So, That's still a little fast. Let me slow down a little bit more. Do that again. So you can do it both up and back. So one way to practice these, and this is how you get better with the hammer-ons and pull-offs, is practice with a pattern, and using a metronome is really helpful. Because we can kind of just random, like, our fingers just kind of just react and just kind of do stuff out of time. But what you want to do is practice it in time, because especially this is slower, so you gotta kind of hold that down. Sorry, my allergies are getting me. 2, 3, 4. So here you go. And then backwards. So that's what you could do with all three of these patterns, and I'll go over them. I'll go over right now. Hammer-ons and pull-offs. So let me do the next pattern down. So the second one, it's going like this: 3, 4. So. And back. So I did some, I followed the fingerings there. So that works best for this pattern. I call it pattern 2, but you can call it whatever you want. So if you're doing cage, you could say this is the A shape, if you do your A shape. This one, you could say it's a G shape. And the next one that we're going to do, the third one, is this shape, which is coming from the E. So you get the A, G, and then the E shape. So whatever you want to call it. I call it 2, 3, 4. It's basically 5 of them. So anyways, but they're all the same notes, and it's just different patterns depending on where you play on the fretboard. Alright, let me do the last pattern here with the hammer-on pull-off, and we'll go into some of the examples. So backwards. So anyhow, that's example with those patterns, with the practice of hammer-ons and pull-offs. And so if you haven't done many or much on hammer-ons and pull-offs, it's just something that you want to work and get it smooth. So basically, instead of just playing the pattern, you're picking it. It gives it a different sound by doing a hammer-on, as opposed to. But you still want to do it in time, so that's really important, because we could just kind of random. It's not very musical. So anyhow, practice it with a metronome. Practice it slow, because you want to get that control, that muscle control of your fingers in your left hand. Being able to pull that off. So that's really important. And like last week we talked about slides. So it's just another technique, and you could do that slides with these 3 patterns easily. So the idea with all these techniques that we're going through for lead is just being able to have a variety of ways of playing solos. And the best thing to do is, once you kind of get some technique down, is just start learning some solos. And with those techniques, like sliding. So we'll go through some of those too in the PDF, next one. All right, so let me stop the share here. And let's see. Let's go to hammer-ons pull-offs. I'm gonna share that again. But now I got my PDF pattern, and and you can always go to scottknightmusic.com to get the PDF, and you can send me a message also at scott@scottknightmusic.com. It's another way to get these from me and request. So anyhow, the top one is basically that first pattern that we just did. Let me do it with the metronome, and you can kind of get that. And so 2, 3, 4. So sorry, let me do that again. So I got 8th notes here, so let me slow that down a little bit because that's going to be different. So I got it at 50, so basically it's 100. So 2, 3, 4. And backwards. So the pull-offs are definitely going to be more difficult than the hammer-ons, but you want to have them equally in note values and sound too. And I know the pull-offs, those are challenging. So you have to get your fingers acquainted, used to each string and how much pressure to pull off to get it. Because if you dig in too hard, you press down too hard, then you're gonna bend the string out of tune, or your finger never just gets off. So basically, you're training your muscles to have control to be able to play these. Anyways, let's go to the second line, which is that second pattern that was in the PD at 3, 4. So that's backwards. Here we go. Oops, messed that up a little bit. So yeah, it's really important to use a metronome. So I highly recommend it. There's like a bunch of free ones out there, and I'm using this one called Tempo. It looks like this. So, and it's great because it'll do whatever speed you want, and you can slide it, or you can tap tempo and go really fast. You can change the beat. So anyways, free app, Tempo. It'll work on it's on the iOS. I think it's on the other one, not sure, but this one's really good. I like it. Let me get back to somewhere normal. Alright, so let's go over this third line here. And third line, get me set up at 50, which is basically 100 with the 8th notes. So let's go here. Alright, here we go. 2, 3, 4. Backwards. Cool. So yeah, it's definitely recommend to just practice those with the metronome and just work with the timing and everything, and really just want to be able to get that smooth, and it's just a matter of feel with the muscle memory and getting your fingers developed to do that. Alright, now let's look at the bottom line. So where it says combo there, so these are combinations, hammer-ons and pull-offs, and kind of little, call them licks, little phrases. But so anyhow, so this one sounds like, we do that with a metronome. This is measure 13, 4. So again. And if you're wondering about the picking direction, I'm doing down on each of those. So because I'm hammering on to the next half a beat of of 1, so I got 1 and 2 and 3, 4. I'm off. That's a rest there. So, but yeah, the little box thing, that's just a down in. So I think, yeah, most of them are down, but there's an up there too. I see that. So let's go to measure 14. So this one's got pull-offs. 2, 3, 4. Do that again. So basically these are in key of A minor, or you could even use them for A blues. But so Speaking of blues, the next one, 15, has the blues note in it. And if you recall, if you got the PDF from, I don't know if it was on last week, I think it was on last week's PDF, that there was the blues note in there. So you can always go back and look on the YouTube there and find it. So that's going to go like this. Oops, I'm hitting more than one string. So I need to get a better position here. I'm trying to sit a little low so you can see me. So that, with the blues note, it's going to sound like this. 2, 2, 3, 4, 15. Again. Yeah, so the blues note. You get the blues note here too. So anyhow, yeah, you can go back and check those out in the videos on YouTube channel there. Alright, so let's go to 16. So we got a hammer and pull off. So we got triplet. It was basically a triplet. It's just 3 beats, 3 notes in 1 beat. Sorry. Alright, let's try that. 2, 3, 4. Try again. 2. So I am doing a, should mention this, I'm doing kind of like a bluesy triplet rhythm. So it sounds like this with them dun 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 dun. So let's go and look at this. Again. So it's good practice. I'll show you here. I'm on the little swing rhythm here, which is kind of a bluesier sound as opposed to just doing it straight. So it just makes it a little more interesting. So let's go to, I'm just going to put it back on quarter notes. Let's go to that 17. 17 goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got a combination with the slide and get the blues note in there again. Alright, so basically pull off on the blues note, slide into. So I'm basically sliding somewhere on the 5th fret. I'm not going, I'm just basically laying on the downbeat of the slide with the metronome. So I count again. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Anyways, hope that helps. And 18, let's see. Let's see what I do for fingering. Oh yeah, I gotta follow my fingering because that makes a difference. So I'm sliding my 3rd finger to 9th fret. That sets me up because now I'm in this pattern, which was that 3rd pattern on the sheet there. I call it pattern 4, or the E shape. So most of the stuff we're doing out of this one. And that's the one we end up playing mostly out of anyways. So let's try that with the metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. 2, 3, 4. Alright, so you notice that when the 7 to the 5, that's an 8th note, and then the pull off's 8th note. So it's really important to use the right finger, because if I did my middle finger, then I'm not going to be able to get to this note here. I'm going to have to cross fingers, and so I want to try to keep everything connected as much as possible. So I try to hold this note, and then I don't play the next one until, and then I don't pick this one up until I play the next one. That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, so using the right fingering makes a big difference. Alright, we're at the last one. This is a quick lesson webinar. And so we got a triplet with, and this one's got the third. So last lesson, or a couple lessons ago, we had the so that's gonna sound like this. So we can play it without the metronome. With the metronome, let's try it. 2, 3, 4. Try it again. 4. It's kind of strange sounding, but it works. 3, 4. Yeah. So that's just a couple ideas with the. Let me take the share off. So, and again, if you need the PDF, you can go to my website, scottKnightmusic.com, and you can send a message, or eventually these should be up on my website. So hopefully that'll help and give you some understanding and some ways to practice the hammer-ons and pull-offs. So, and they're definitely a part of the technique that if you're going to be playing lead, you want to be able to do hammer-ons and pull-offs, and you have to practice them, and they just don't happen. So it's just if you're intentional practicing with the metronome, you can practice those patterns, and that's the best ways. Using the metronome helps very much too. Anyhow, and I think that's it. Let me see if there's anybody there with some questions. You can always leave a comment down below, questions in the YouTube channel. And thanks again for joining. Appreciate it, and thanks for hanging out with me. My name is Scott Knight. Go to scottKnightmusic.com for any other things you want to check out. And I got a few things on the website, some lessons, and you can also find them on a YouTube channel. There's some lessons there too, and some pedal reviews. So check those out. And I'm giving away a pedal again this month, and so look for that. That's an Instagram. So anyhow, all the best. Thank you so much, and we will see you next week. And that'll be the last one for the year, and then we'll start back up in January sometime. So not the 1st, because I think the 1st is on Saturday. So we'll start up what would that be, the 8th of January. So anyhow, thanks for being here today, and we will see you next week.